Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Philadelphia Eagles Now. Happy Monday. There's been a lot of stuff happening at Eagles training camp over the weekend. And so, as we always do on a Monday, going to give you guys the latest Eagles news and rumors. First, though, we're 88 subscribers away from 31,000 subscribers here on our Eagles channel, which is absolutely insane. If you guys like the channel, if you're one of those ghost followers who don't subscribe but still watch our videos, help us out down below. Get a little 88 Dallas Goedert number needed to go ahead and get to 31,000. We would very much appreciate you guys subscribing. All right, as mentioned, Eagles news and rumors, what happened over the weekend. We're going to jump into everything that you're probably hearing in terms of training camp stuff from other outlets. We're going to give you the real deal on what is actually happening because there's a lot of chatter right now. We start with the offense. There's been a lot of chatter over the past couple of days that the Eagles offense has struggled a lot so far during training camp. A lot of other media outlets, especially on YouTube, have mentioned that, I'm hearing Jalen Hurts has not looked good. I'm hearing that the receivers aren't looking very good, that the defense is very much winning. However, I think that this is a little bit overblown, and you will see just why. First off, let's just understand that regardless of Jalen Hurts' performance on the field, anytime he struggles in training camp, the Philadelphia media is going to let you know about it. They're going to make sure you know if Hurts has an overthrow, if he has an interception, that it was an interception by Jalen Hurts, and it's massive news, and you must be worried. That's what's happening right now, and it's just crazy because there isn't a need to worry about an offense, regardless if it's Philadelphia's or someone else's, during the first week of training camp because, as we'll see, offenses are not supposed to be winning during the first week of training camp. Anyone who's ever been to a training camp or even played in a training camp will understand that. So first, let's get into BleedingGreenNation write-up on Jalen Hurts. Here's a good example of media people talking about how he looked bad. I'm not saying that they're wrong on this. This is factual. This did happen at training camp, but let's just show you what, in case you haven't been reading it, what people are saying about the offense so far. Quote, on the whole, defense got the better of the offense for the second straight day. Hurts hasn't been as good when having to work the entire field, as opposed to only doing red zone work during the first practice. Underthrowing the ball was a common issue in today's practice. During one-on-ones, Hurts failed to give A.J. Brown a chance to make a play on the ball down the field. The ball was thrown too shallow to where James Bradberry was able to break it up despite trailing and not looking at the pass in the air. In 11-on-11, Bradberry almost picked off Hurts on a throw that didn't look like it had enough mustard on it. Smith should have had a catch after running a double move, but the ball hung in the air far too long and got broken up instead. End quote. So you read that and you read Twitter like, oh my gosh, Hurts is struggling the offense. Oh no, Thomas was wrong. He's going to stink this year. Guys, listen. The defense is supposed to be winning. Ask anyone who actually has knowledge about the National Football League works. When the pads are off, especially when the pads are off, the defense is most likely going to win. Plus, the Eagles' defense is pretty good. Let's be real. Cornerbacks are really, really solid. Jalen Hurts has had some good days. He has had some really good throws. And so the idea that we need to panic and worry about what he's done so far is absolutely ridiculous. I've been to multiple NFL training camps. Been to Atlanta Falcons training camp up at Flowery Branch in Georgia. I've been to Carolina Panther training camp in Spartanburg, South Carolina, North Carolina, one of the Carolinas. And I remember back whenever I was at specifically, it would have been the Panther training camp. I was sitting on the at a table with Jeff Schwartz, who's a former Panther offensive lineman. He's on Twitter a lot. He's on Fox Sports, stuff like that. And I asked him, because obviously back then it was Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey, and they were struggling at training camp as an offense. And I said, Jeff, what's the deal right now with the Panther offense? He said, Thomas, listen. Everybody knows when the pads are off, and especially when it's early in training camp, the offense always struggles. The defense always wins. Watch that shift start to change as the next couple of days and weeks happen here at Philadelphia Eagles camp. Again, I'm not trying to cover for Jalen Hurts. I'm not trying to have his back and say, I think he's fine. No, he's had some up and down plays, but it's so darn early. If you're panicking about Jalen Hurts right now and you're having some real worries, you need to calm down and let training camp progress a little bit further. Let's get the pads on before we even freak out about that. Okay, add break pen comment down below. How worried about the offense so far? How worried are you so far about the offense? Let me know what you guys think down below. Scale of 1 to 10. Are you worried at all about the offense? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being like you're super worried. 1 being like you're not worried at all. Let me know down below right now. Okay, another really fun story, which has since resolved itself, but it's a great example of the camp drama, especially with the Philadelphia media, is the Miles Sanders drama. And this goes down to the fact that there were some plays over the past couple of days and series where it was Kenny Gainwell with the 1s, and it was Miles Sanders with the 2s, and it was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. Is Miles Sanders being dumped down the running back chart because, he's in a contract year, he's been injured a lot, maybe they're trying to hand the reins over to Gainwell, who was a draft pick last year, and the only Eagles running back signed through 2023. 2023. Well, that rumor was debunked by Nick Sirianni, and since then, Sanders has been with the ones basically the entire time. But here's a good write-up by the NFL.com debunking this theory that went around on Twitter yesterday. Quote, State of the Eagles running back depth chart was called into question this week when onlookers noted that second-year player Kenneth Gainwell was running with the first team as Miles Sanders, Philly's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, was with the second team. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni dispelled the notion that Sanders was being phased out, pointing out that Philly rotates its top 3 running backs, Boston Scott included, during that portion of practice. Sanders' status as RB1 is not changing. Miles is our guy, Sirianni said. It just so happened to be the wrong numbers, or the way the numbers worked, but Miles was in with the ones as well. There's no secret. Miles is our guy, and we like to rotate our backs. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? It's so funny that you actually mentioned this. There was a scene at camp yesterday where Sanders, with the ones, broke out a massive run, like had a touchdown run for like 40 or 50 yards, and as Nick Sirianni ran with him down the sideline, he was yelling, he's a one, or he's a number 1 running back at the media to kind of poke fun at them. Now, let's be real. Miles has to earn the number 1 spot. He is the number 1 running back and will be this season, but if he were to falter, if he were to have injuries, Gainwell needs to be ready. I have no issue with them rotating running backs. Every single good NFL team that doesn't have a Najee Harris or a Jonathan Taylor rotates running backs, and I think Sanders is great, but he's not Najee Harris or Jonathan Taylor. Let's just be real here. Derrick Henry, for instance. So I have no issue with this. I think it's hilarious. Again, this is what training camp is. It's a bunch of rapid-fire news notes that you're going to consume from Twitter, from Philly Sports Radio, from ESPN, from this channel, and you got to decipher it all. And so instead of panicking when Hurts throws an interception or panicking when Miles Sanders isn't with the ones, take it all into context because most of the time they're probably working on a specific thing, hence why Gainwell might have been with the ones for a little bit and with Sanders with the twos. What do you guys think? How many touchdowns for Sanders in 2022? How many will he have in total? Let me know down below right now in the comment section. I hope 8+. I think he's a very sneaky RB2 pick in fantasy football. I've said that for weeks. How many touchdowns for Sanders? Let me know down below right now. Okay, one person who has been performing well at training camp is A.J. Brown. And so if you're worried about Brown struggling this year, don't be. I think he's going to be just fine. Pick up his jersey right now at chatsports.com/A.J. Brown. The jerseys are going to go so fast. I'm telling you, you need to get this now. That way you're ready to rock for the first preseason game, which happens in 2 weeks. And then, of course, the regular season, which is a little less than a month and a half away. Pick up your A.J. Brown jerseys, the official Nike stuff down below right now in the comment section. You'll see the link to take you to the website we're showing you right now on our screen, but the link is also on your screen right now. All right, as we always do here on a Monday, and we're going to do this a lot over the next couple of days and weeks, we're going to get into what I call the other training camp notes here on our Philadelphia Eagles news and rumor video. And so these are not the massive stories. Like, it's not like a massive story that takes, 5 minutes of my time to break down, but it's a little stuff. How's this player looking? Is this player playing bad? Is this player playing good? Is there any sort of injuries? Is there depth chart changes? Are there roster battles? That's what we're going to break down here on the other training camp notes. Let's start with Jalen Reagor. There was a very interesting note from Nick Sirianni yesterday at a press conference when asked about the status of Jalen Reagor, and he said Reagor is competing for a roster spot. And so the idea that Reagor was guaranteed to be wide receiver 4 or guaranteed to make this roster, as I don't know if he was guaranteed, but I've said before, I think he's going to make the roster, has come into question. Reagor is battling for his life right now. He's battling for his Philadelphia Eagle life in terms of actually staying on this roster. And let's just be real. Quez Watkins has looked very, very good so far. So that's a roster spot that's obviously gone. Zach Pascal is signed through this year, whereas Reagor is obviously a free agent at the end of the year. There are other young players at wide receiver trying to take his spot, and if Reagor falters at all, especially I think during the preseason games, he very much could be cut, which would be a very big development for a lot of people who thought he would at least have a chance to make the roster and be guaranteed a roster spot this year. Noted earlier, but I want to hit back on it. James Bradberry has looked very, very good. You talk to some Eagle fans, and the whole PTSD of signing free agent cornerbacks is very real because you talk about, obviously, a lot of issues in terms of previous cornerbacks that have been there. Nnamdi Asomugha is a good example of one. Obviously, you can go back to Byron Maxwell being an issue. So people are worried about James Bradberry. However, Bradberry has looked very, very good so far at training camp, and he's been up against A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. He's winning a lot of battles, and I think it's very, very safe to say that Bradberry has been absolutely fantastic. Someone who's not been fantastic is Kayvon Wallace, and the report out of this weekend is that Marcus Epps is very much going to be a starting safety on this roster. I think Jaquiski Tartt's not going to be a starter either. I think you're looking at Epps and Harris being the 2 starters, and I think those are going to be officially the guys, barring some sort of significant setback or struggles, but Epps has looked great. There's one Philadelphia Eagle personality, or media personality, at training camp the past couple of days who says that Epps looks like a completely different human as what he's done the past couple of seasons. He has grabbed this battle by the horns for the safety spot and very much taken it over. He is probably going to be a starting safety, as we predicted, but the idea that Kayvon Wallace was going to be in the mix has very much fallen off. He might not make the roster, and we'll talk more about that in a future video. Finally, we talked about it earlier, but Jalen Hurts has struggled a little bit at training camp. No need to worry there. Every single Eagle quarterback has. Gardner Minshew has not looked good so far. Reed Sinat has not looked good so far. And Carson Strong, who was an early favorite at rookie minicamp and during OTAs, has also not looked strong as well. No pun intended there. And so the quarterbacks need to be better. But the idea that Carson Strong was going to be guaranteed a roster spot because he looked good during rookie minicamp, that narrative is seemingly going down the drain just a little bit. Okay, what was your biggest takeaway from week 1 of Eagles camp? Let me know down below in the comment section right now. A lot of takeaways in my opinion, but give me your thoughts on the first week of Eagles camp right now. Okay, as we go ahead and end today's video, as always, you should follow me on Twitter. If you like the channel, I mean, we can get way more than 3,500 followers on my Twitter account. There are 33,000 or 31,000 of you guys. I retweet a ton of Eagle stuff, like a ton of Eagle stuff. Great stop to go ahead and be up to date. My personal Twitter account, @Thomas Mott. Give me a follow there. And as we end today's video, turn on the notification bell where you're notified when we drop our latest videos. We're going to get into camp winners and losers tomorrow. Who really looks good, who's looked bad. Kayvon Wallace will be one of the ones who's looked bad. Just a little, a preview there. It's called a tease. And finally, as we end, mailbag video happening later on this week. So go down below, #Eagles in the comments section, and ask any sort of Eagle-related question you want right now. Must be a subscriber to be featured. Okay, for Photo Eagles Now, producer Trace, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.